Hello everyone and welcome to SSP TV Community News and welcome to Penn State's Hazleton campus. I'm Ken Kara, joined by Noelle Kaufman. She's the head coach of the women's volleyball team here on campus. A lot of celebrating for them recently. A great season. You won the Penn State University Athletic Conference Eastern Division Championship, the overall Penn State University Athletic Conference Championship, and that means you get to go to nationals, compete at the United States Collegiate Athletic Association for national championship. Coach, congratulations this year on so much of your success. I want to get in and talk about this year's team. This was the first championship season for them.
This year, this is such a great team to be a part of. I've never played with a team. I've played on a lot of teams, but I've never played with athletes like this. And to be able to coach them is such an honor. You know, I'm thrilled and blessed every day to say that I coach a team like this.
How would you describe them? For people who didn't get to see them play this year, how would you describe what Penn State Hazleton women's volleyball was like this year?
So we start off a little rocky. We're like a roller coaster. It's the roller coaster effect. Family and friends that sit in the stands, you know, if there's some families at home watching, you know, they'll be texting me throughout and they're like, you know, here we go on the roller coaster. So I like to call us a roller coaster, but once we get to that, you know, top point, and it's smooth sailing once we get there. But we take a little bit to build up, but they play as a team. They play as a family. They do things on their own outside of our practices. Like, they'll get together and do their own film nights, they'll do study sessions, and they just do stuff because they want to. It's not because I'm behind the scenes telling them to do these things. They just genuinely like to be together. And I'm sure they'll tell you in their interviews too, when you talk to them, that they really consider each other a family. You know, we look out for each other, we have each other's backs day in and day out. They know they can call or text me at any time of the day, and they know that I'll answer, you know, help them in any way that I possibly can. But they're just such an in-sync team that I've just really, truly never saw anything like it.
Maybe not even from the championship game, but what's one thing that stands out in your memory from this team as they were playing this season?
I think it's more so the doubt. A lot of the pregame interviews that we do in the PSUAC, everybody kind of counted us out. I don't want to say necessarily from the championship, but just didn't expect us to get there. So that already played in their minds going into it a little bit, which is tough to get them out of that mindset, you know, when they're already stuck thinking that they're not going to be able to do that. And to continue to tell them, you know, stay humble, you know, stay focused, don't cut the outside noise out, and focus on what we need to focus on and play as a team. And I think that was kind of our mindset going into it the entire season. It was, quote unquote, by Sydney Mack, all gas, no brakes. So that is, you know, kind of our motto and what we look for, but it's really staying humble and knowing that we're here to do our job and everything else doesn't matter at that point in time. But that's what we looked at moving forward, and I think we shocked the PSUAC because nobody expected us to be there. But to be able to do that in a third rebuild year, however you want to say it, is super rewarding as a coach, as well as I'm sure the players feel.
Talking about that doubt from the outside, you play Monalto twice. I think you lose the first match to them. Talk about building up from that then with confidence, and then you go out in the championship and I think you lose the first set and then you come back and win that.
So going into the first match, I think a lot of the athletes kind of focused on the loss last season. You know, that kept playing in their mind, that the heartbreak that they had in 5 sets, you know, and I think it was more so an intimidation factor. But the way I structured the schedule this season, a lot of our non-conference teams were big D3 schools, and I wasn't afraid to take them on. I know that the athletes can hang in there, whether, you know, we lost in 4 or 5 sets, we learned how to play tough teams. So when we came back in with Monalto, we ended up beating them in 3 sets. And the difference between that game and this one was we had the confidence because of playing those tough teams. So I'm not going to say it was a breeze, because Monalto is the type of team that as soon as you give up, they're going to go ahead and take that extra mile from you. So it was just constantly keeping your foot on the gas and focusing on that. But when we had matched up with them in the championship, I should say, you know, we knew what to expect. We knew where to target them. They knew where to target us, and it was just finding the happy medium in the middle for us to go out there and get that win.
What do you want people, as they watch this story, what do you want them to walk away from and remember about this year's Penn State Hazleton women's volleyball team?
That, you know, don't ever count us out. You know, it's a team where we do strive to play together. It's more of a thing where you have to have family, you know, and I always tell them, you know, a lot of women's sports are filled with drama. And for us, I say always leave that at the door, because when you come into the gym, you're giving your opponent the upper hand. And for us, it's not giving them that upper hand, focusing on us. And since I kind of set that tone from the beginning, I haven't had any athletes come in here and kind of bring that negativity onto the team within my 4 years of being here. You know, it's staying, like I keep saying, staying humble, you know, in that time of taking all of this in. You know, yes, we're going into nationals. We're going to play tougher teams than we're used to, absolutely. But it's never taking anything for granted. You know, every time you step out on that court, you don't know if it's your last play, last point, last swing, whatever it may be. So it's just such a special team. That's all I really can say. And I'm just here for the ride.
Two of the captains from the team join me now, Sydney Mack and Sophia Del Vecchio. Thank you both. Congratulations. Seems like a happy team, a joyous atmosphere around Penn State Hazleton right now. You both came skipping over to do the interview together. Seems like a tight group. You seem tight also with Sophia. Talk about that relationship and the relationship with all of the players. Are you guys all pretty tight?
Yeah, we are a really close team. That's one thing that we like to stress when joining the team. We like having a close-knit atmosphere, basically a second family.
Okay.
I've been playing with her for 2 years, and I've already had a close bond with her, especially on the court and off the court. On and off the court, we're all pretty close. We all hang out together in different groups too, so it's not cliquey, like we mesh well together.
How important is that when you have a team that has some experience together, that likes each other, and that you do have that bond? Can that be a difference with the championship, or is it more about talent? Talk about that a bit.
I think it's both, but it is good to be non-toxic. If we're beating each other up on the court, it's not going to get us anywhere. We're just going to get in our heads, and then we're going to start playing bad. But we have to build each other up because it's bad enough if we're in our own heads. So we have to encourage each other by being close.
How did you as captains try to keep that atmosphere? Was it easy with this group, or are you both kind of positive people? How do you try to keep that going?
Yeah, we're a very positive group, all of us together. We all work together. We all know that being collective will take us very far. So I would say there's no bad attitudes on the team. We all work very well together, and we love each other on and off the court.
We're talking about how happy things are, but there are probably difficult times as well. What was something tough that you feel this team went through, be it this season? You're a sophomore, I think, but maybe last season too. What's something tough you think you guys went through and maybe brought you closer together, or that was just kind of tough to navigate through?
Yeah, so last year we kind of got stuck when the points were down, kind of having a hard time bringing ourselves back up. This year I feel like we did great with that. We were able to kind of build each other back up, stand behind each other. When we come together in the middle of the court, we tell each other what to do, give positive words, and then move on. That definitely helped us.
What were you most impressed with the team this year? You were around it last year. You guys went. Obviously, you could say, "Oh, well, we won a championship." But what impressed you when you looked at it and you thought, "All right, yeah, well, maybe we're stronger in this area." I didn't think so.
Oh gosh.
Anything surprised you, or was it kind of what you thought it was going to be?
I think it was what I thought it would be. We're all so tight-knit, and we all wanted this from the beginning. We walked in and we said we're going to win that championship this year, and we really put in the work to get there.